Everyone is talking about Melania Trump's speech, and the internet has opinions. So, everyone, stand at attention and let's salute our Madam President and welcome her to the podium. There's this old adage, the toad doesn't run in the daytime for nothing. It runs because something is chasing it. Now, my fellow Americans, I remember in 2016 when you asked Melania to blink twice if she needed us to come and save her. She didn't blink then. She is blinking now. Is that offer still on the table? Or did it expire when she ignored us all? In my opinion, you're not asking me, but I'm telling you, I think this offer should still be on the table for our Madam President. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant our Madam First Lady. I don't want to hear any of you giving Melania Trump pressure because she didn't accept your offer then. She's here now, guys. She's here now. What are we going to do? Are we going to invite her to the cookout now? This auntie is not running broad daylight for nothing. Something has to be chasing her. Now, the question is, what is chasing her? Now, stay with me here, because like Melania Trump, I was an immigrant who came to America on a visa. Just like her, B1, B2. So I am looking at the situation with a different set of lenses and perspective. An immigrant born in Yugoslavia, Slovenia, in the 1970s, according to Wikipedia. That's what Wikipedia says. So I'm just telling you what Wikipedia said. Guys, I didn't make this up. She was born Melania J, not Melania. Melania. But later on, she changed it. Her choice, you can do whatever you want. It's your name, you can change it. I can change my name if I want to. So go ahead, Madam President. Go ahead, change your name. Her father was a chauffeur. Her mom was a pattern maker. She made patterns for children's clothes. She lived in state-run housing, a housing complex. In other words, guys, in America, she lived in the projects, okay? She was always interested in modeling, fashion, so she left home very early on to pursue the modeling career. She came to America in 1996 to continue on the path of pursuing her modeling career. She came in on a B1, B2 visa in August of 1996. She obtained a work visa H1B in October of 1996. She met Donald Trump in 1998. This is where it gets very interesting. Stay with me here, guys, because it has been said that she came to America on an Epstein visa. Oh, I mean an Einstein visa. EB1 visa, not Epstein visa, Einstein visa. Stay with me, guys. She applied for the Einstein visa in the year 2000. She was already dating Donald Trump. She was approved for the the Einstein visa, EB1 visa in 2001. She was only one of 5 people to win that year. Epstein visa. Oh, Einstein visa. What is it, you may ask? The Epstein visa. Guys, the Einstein visa. The EB1. Maybe I should just refer to it as the EB1. Epstein, Einstein, it all sounds the same to me. The EB1 visa, Einstein visa, is given to people with extraordinary abilities or given to people who are highly acclaimed in their field. For example, a Pulitzer Prize winner will be a good candidate for an Einstein visa. An Olympic winner can be a candidate for an Einstein visa. An Oscar winner can be a candidate for an Einstein visa. Academic researchers also can be candidates for Einstein visas. Guys, you get the gist. She was not a top international model. The Epstein visa or the Einstein visa, EB1, the criteria, there are 10 criteria to include coverage of the applicant in a major publication, original or significant contributions in their field, and work displayed at artistic exhibitions. These are some of the criteria. You may ask, does she have or does she meet any of those criteria? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know the lady. I don't know what abilities she possesses. And depending on who you ask, the answer may be no. I'm not judging. But the interesting thing here is someone was thinking way ahead. Someone was on top of the game. And whoever that was, I salute you, sir or madam. And at that time, I don't think whoever it was thinking in presidential terms. So if it was Donald Trump, I don't think he was thinking that far ahead. And maybe he was. I don't know. I don't know the man. But I doubt that he was thinking, or in my opinion, he was thinking at the time he met her in 1998 or 2000 or 1996, whenever, that he was thinking in terms of presidential. In my opinion, because of his standing in society, he was thinking, how can I package this woman? How can I embellish, put the bells and whistles and bows and present her to my inner circle of high society? This is what I think. So, what's the best way to do that? Because in the circles he ran in, the family he was born into, he's standing in society. You know, when you go to these snobbish parties, you're introduced. Oh, this is Melania. The first thing these snobbish people will ask, what do you do? Where did you go to school? Who are your parents? Who's your auntie? Who's your uncle? Who's your cousin? They want to know. Go down all your genetic pool. So, somebody was already thinking. So let's package this lady to make her fit the mold of high society. Because after all, if his intention was already to marry her, he saw her, he liked her, he fell in love, straight away, whatever, he knew he was going to marry this lady. So, we have to find a way to make her more appealing to the circles that we're bringing her into. If you've ever been around rich people, you know how snobbish some of them can be, especially the older ones. Snobbish human beings like me and the millions of immigrants in this country. The minute she opened up her mouth, she sticks out like a sore thumb. Guys, I've been there. When you come to this country with your accent, you stick out like a sore thumb. And for some reason, people think that you're not intelligent because you don't speak like them. She's not educated. And sometimes the ignorance, but you guys know that accent. So he knew the minute she opened her mouth, she would stick out. What can I do to soften up that image? She's a beautiful woman. Beautiful. She has great taste in fashion. So she already fit the mold. But The minute that mouth opens, it all comes crashing down, especially in that circle. So he had to find a way to soften it up, to make her more palatable to his circle. That's my opinion. Let me fix her a little bit. And how do I do that? You cannot just take an accent away from a grown woman. It's one thing when children, immigrant children, come to America, because they're kids, they're so young, they can switch and pick up the accents. When people like me, like Melania Trump, come to America, we're already adults. It's hard to take the accent out of us. And sometimes we don't want the accent out of us. Epstein visa. My people, excuse me, Einstein visa, EB1 visa. Let's go down that lane. Because one thing these snobbish rich people cannot deny and will always relate to is an educated person. Right? They'll forget the accent. They'll forget that you're just a model. Because remember I said she was not an international model. She was just a regular model. But one thing they cannot take away from you is your education, your abilities. So let's present her with those special abilities, those 10 criterias that the EB1 visa say they want, that they only give to Pulitzer Prize winners, Oscar winners, academics, Olympians, extraordinary abilities. So if when I introduce her to the snobbish rich folks, to my inner circle, high society, I introduce her as, this is Melania. She has an Epstein visa, an Einstein visa, EB1 visa. Oh! Trust me, they'll not even hear the accent. All they hear is the special abilities acclaimed. She has to be extraordinary to have gotten that special privilege. Now remember, I said about the criterias: coverage of applicant in major publication, work displayed in artistic exhibitions, original and significant contributing factors in their field, whatever. Guys, go and research it. Now, the big idea. Let's call GQ, that is GQ magazine, and have Madam President, Madam First Lady, spread out on a fur rug, on a private jet. I don't know, maybe it was Donald Trump's private jet, maybe it was Einstein's private jet, I don't know, for the cover of British GQ. Guys, remember that? Go back in the archives. It's there. You can pull it up. Now, that's not enough, because we want to make sure that she gets that Epstein visa. Guys, that Einstein visa. What else can we do? Let's have her in a spread in Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Now follow me here. 1, major publication. 2, work displayed. 3, artistic exhibition. Original, significant, depends on who you ask. Criterias. You're just pulling criterias out of a hat. Okay? Because when you want what you want, you're going to get it by fire, by force. Now the stage is set. Madam and Mr. President married in 2005. If you notice, he didn't marry her before she had that Einstein visa. After. Because he has to present her like Oh, wow. She's so achieved, so acclaimed, because he's there. So he has to bring her there. And I'm for it. Now that I've given you a little context on Madam's President, Madam First Lady's background, let me give you my perspective on what I think is chasing Madam President. In my opinion, it can only be one of two things. And in my experience, it is not always the most obvious. And the most interesting thing, that's why I said earlier, and I used that adage, the toad doesn't run in the daytime for nothing. Something has to be chasing it. Not even her husband, the President of the United States, was aware that Auntie had called for press conference, that Auntie was about to glide onto a podium and to throw him under the bus, left, right, and center. So my first question when I saw the speech was, did he know? He admitted when they asked him, he had no clue. My second question was, did any of his staffers know and maybe just didn't find it important to tell him? Because nobody did any due diligence to find out what this lady is going to go and say, what Auntie wants to talk about, what Auntie gathered us for, what Auntie asked us to come and sit in front of the congregation for. Nobody bothered to ask. Because in the back of their minds, they're like, okay, she's going to take the attention off of him and have people talking about something else. Little did they know, this lady doesn't give jack. At this point, I am telling you guys, at this point, Melania Trump don't give jack with anybody. She's out to save herself. And I totally agree with her. And oh boy, did she address us. She scolded us. She reprimanded us like small children, like little children. And this is where I have the problem with Auntie. We asked you to blink in the beginning, you didn't. It's okay. It's okay. You gave your husband benefit of doubt. You wanted to stand by him. We understand that. How many times have we been in relationships and these men giving us problems? Everybody around us seeing the problem. We're not seeing it. Everybody is telling us to leave that man. We're not seeing it. We're standing. We're staying. I have been there. So we understand. We asked you to blink so we could come and save you. You didn't blink. It's okay. You love your man. It's okay. He's your husband after all. The father of your child. You're going to just walk away. It's not easy for a woman to walk away. We're not built that way. But when we walk away, we walk away. I was happy about that speech. I just didn't like the tone of it. Or maybe it's just how she comes off. I'm not sure. Her delivery to me is just so cold and snobbish and condescending is the word. And maybe that's not what she means at all. At all. I don't even think that's what she means. And who knows? I do not want to judge Melania Trump too harshly, but the delivery had me a little uncomfortable, Auntie. I'll say that much. Auntie, who called you? Who asked you? The very thing your husband has been running away from since, and he cannot shake it off of him. When we finally forgot about it, we're no longer talking about it, because now we're here worrying about, should we put gas in our car? or should we buy food? So we're not talking about that anymore. We're past that. And I think now she knows that she has to save herself. Because at the end of the day, he's not going to be the president of the United States forever. How many more years left? 2. So now you're trying to pull yourself away. As the first lady of this country, coming from where you came from, you could have done more. You could have had an impact. You could have set your name in stone, especially with the immigration issue, especially with the injustice. And let's not even think about just regular immigrants. The children that were caged without the parents not knowing where the children are. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I can't even being detained and your children or your child is taken away from you to somewhere separate and you don't know if they're alive, if they're dead, if they're hungry, if they're thirsty, who's taking care of them, what's happening to them. Can you imagine? I can't. You did nothing. You did absolutely nothing. You stood there. You sat there. You lounged there, eating your shrimp cocktail. Coming from where you came from. A father who was a chauffeur and later on went to, I think, sell spare parts. And a mother who was making patterns for children's clothes in the projects. You should understand who came to this country with no security, no protection, like me, like them, like all the rest of the immigrants in this country. You did nothing. Of all the first ladies that America has ever had, you should have understood more than anybody else that immigration issue. You did nothing. You said nothing. Even with all the atrocities that were done by these evil men, Epstein and his cahoots, to these young, vulnerable girls that could have easily been your daughters, your nieces. You said nothing. You never came to address it. You didn't have to come out and call anybody out. You could have just come out and stand in solidarity. That's all we expected of you. But no, you couldn't do that. But now that the kitchen is getting too hot for you, you're running. Why are you running? You have already not said anything. You should have stayed mum. Don't say anything. Mute. Don't say anything. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm still giving you a listening ear. And I want to say also, Melania Trump is not a victim. She is not helpless. She is not timid. She doesn't lack self-esteem. This woman is a strong woman. This woman is very opinionated, even if it doesn't seem that way. I will not doubt if she's running circles around Donald Trump. Don't underestimate her. She will do what she wants to do, and nobody can stop her. Her husband can stop her. Who's going to stop her? If she decides to come, speak up, support what she wants to support the causes she wants to support, nobody can stop her. They couldn't stop her on April 9th from blowing the lid back open on the Epstein saga. So who could stop her if she wanted to speak up on immigration or support immigration or denounce the atrocities being done to people? She has the power. She can do it. And that's my disappointment with her, coming from where she's coming from. I'm an immigrant. I have been there. When you come to America, as Melania Trump did, on a B1, B2 visa, like I did, and then onto a working visa, you think differently. For some reason, you're still not secure. Your security, your freedom of movement, these things are always in the back of your mind. Always. It doesn't go away. Especially when you migrate from another country and straight into New York. Don't ask me. Guys, I've been there. There is something about leaving your country and coming to New York that changes everything about you. And most of the time, for the better. Most of the time, for the better. Because I'm telling you, you grow an extra set of backbones. You even grow balls. So this lady that glided onto that podium, threatening and reprimanding us like we were her children, don't underestimate her. When you come to this country, especially how she came, you are always in fight mode. You are always in survival mode. And this is my point. Because she was in survival mode, she knew, she was already a model, she's a beautiful woman, that being in certain circles would open certain doors to her. That's just the reality of it. Let's not even sugarcoat it. I would do the same thing. Why come to a country where you don't know anybody, you left everything you knew, and then you want to hang around people who cannot help you, people who cannot do anything for you? What's the point? So I'm all in with her there. So she knew she had to hook an influential, rich, maybe not good looking, who knows? But she had to hook an influential and rich man. So the parties she attended, her social circle, were consisted of these depraved people, men like Jeffrey Epstein. And I still believe that this lady doesn't know or didn't know what was going on. I don't know. I'm telling you, I find it very hard to believe. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that she may not have been in, maybe, let's just say, for example, a party and she saw something off. But being at a party and seeing something off doesn't mean anything, right? Because at the end of the day, when you're hanging around with people, it's never in your mind that people go the lengths that they do, that people are so evil. Especially sometimes if you come from a country where you lived a sheltered life, where you come from a country where these kind of things were not heard of. It's like, it's crazy, evil, pure evil. So your mind never goes there. And remember, she's trying to catch a man. She's trying to hook a man. She's trying to secure her future, set in stone her immigration status. The last thing on Auntie's mind is checking who's 18, who's 19, who's 14. That's not, it's not registering, because her focus is elsewhere. Her focus is on her future and hooking the biggest fish. So in order to hook the biggest fish, she had to be in the company of people who knew the biggest fish. That's what I think happened, and that's what I think she got mixed up in. Just the circle. I don't think this lady is at all involved or knew the depth of the evil that these people were up to. No, I don't. So just for her name to be in an email or something, that doesn't mean, let's not condemn her. That doesn't mean that she knew. So many names are in emails. Why have nobody in America been arrested? Nobody. But y'all want to crucify this lady for something she may not even know was happening. Come on, yo. Look at it. When you're a woman in this country, it's not easy. When you're an immigrant in this country, it's not easy. You're obsessed with self-protection. You're obsessed with securing yourself and securing your future. Not what's happening around you. Sometimes they invite you to the parties you don't even want to go, because you have other things on your mind. You have bigger issues. Sometimes you go just hoping to make the right connections. This lady was in these circles because she had to be. Not because she was involved in no twisted evil games and at the level of what these people did to these young girls. No. Nobody's going to have me believe that. Should she have come out and say something sooner in support and solidarity for these victims? Totally. Totally. And shame on her for not doing that sooner. But I'm glad she did it now. There's a saying, better late than never. Because now she's challenged Congress to give these women a voice. Hear their stories, have their stories documented. I'm saying all that to say, I've lived this. I have lived this. I worked in a household when I first came to America. And I saw and suspected some things that were odd, that were very unsettling and troubling. But I had no proof, no evidence. I had never even seen. It was just a feeling, because you're in a household with these people, you see certain movements, certain situations that you question, like something strange, something not right. And it tingled the back of my mind. But the alarm bells didn't go off straight away. So this is what I want to try to make you guys understand. In my situation, because I did not have any proof of what was happening, I just suspected. What could I do? And this has lived with me, guys, for over 25 years. has lived in my heart, in my mind. Could I have done something? Should I have done something? Not even knowing what was going on, or if at all anything was going on, has stuck with me, and the guilt that I still feel to this day. 20-something years later, you guys will never know, will never understand. I was in survival mode, trying to secure my future in America. New to America. I didn't know, was I 100% sure of what I thought was happening was happening. 2, I didn't know what to do. 3, I didn't want to get into any trouble. 4, I didn't know who to go to, where to turn to. So I just kept my head down. And guys, this has been something that I will carry. And I may be carrying something that was innocent. I will never know because I did nothing. But I do not think that my instincts were wrong. And I have never forgiven myself for not saying something, even though at the time I did not know what to say or who to say it to or where to turn, and I was in survival mode, guys. When I came to this country, I was in ground zero. I practically fled my country because my life was up in tatters. And then leaving that and finding myself in a situation because I want a job, I need a job, and then suspecting something is happening to the innocent, but you have no proof, no way to prove it. You're scared. I was scared. I don't even know how to explain it to you guys because it's been rough. I'm not lying to tell you guys. Even like so many years after, I still carry this weight that I cannot seem to let go of. So when I say that she was just concentrating on her own future, her own survival, setting a path for herself, and maybe she was never around anything, or maybe if she was around, she just never saw it because she was consumed in her own survival. I've experienced this, guys. I've experienced it. America has taught me. America has dealt with me as an immigrant. So this is why I have a little sympathy for this lady. Not too much, because she's living a life that most of us will never be able to live. She has privileges that none of us will ever see. And what is she doing with it? That's my problem. What is she doing with it? Nothing. She only runs to defend herself when she feels she needs to. My story, this one is a story for another day. I'll tell you guys about it when I feel I can finally let it out and keep it together at the same time, because every time I tell the story, I cannot keep it together. So this is a story that I have to tell separately when I know I can keep it together to tell you guys. So I'm just here to say, I understand Melania Trump, and I believe her. And I may be naive for believing her, but I believe her. I don't think this lady knew the extent of what was happening. And for people to pull her into this and want to drag her into this, I don't think it's fair. When the men, countless of men who were involved, partied on this island, on these jets, on these yachts, nobody is answering anything. Why should she answer? That's my problem. Why should she answer? People are speculating that some more information is about to come out that she's aware of. She's trying to get ahead of it. I don't think so. These files have been there. They've been dropping these files little by little by little. If Melania Trump isn't mentioned in these files, she knows at some point that it would come out. She never bothered to say anything about it. To me, if my name is linked in something, or I suspect that my name might be linked in something as heinous as this, from the jump, I'm going to go up and say something. She never bothered, because I think she knew that even if her name came up, it's just casual acquaintance, nothing too deep. Or even if it was deep, you can be friends with people. It doesn't mean because you're friends with people, you know how depraved they are. Come on. Sometimes you have people in your own household molesting your children, and you don't even know. Do you know how depraved people can be? We cannot read people's minds. Why is she now running like her heels are on fire to say something? Clear her name, put it, reprimand us, scold us, even going as far as to standing in solidarity with these women, challenging Congress. Why didn't she do it then? Why didn't she do it at the beginning? Because I think she knew that she was not in too deep. Even if something came up with her name in it, it was just casual. So she never bothered. But I think where she missed the mark is something as important and as tragic as something like that. As the First Lady, she had the responsibility to come out, support especially women, and stand with them. So I think that was a missed opportunity right there. And don't get me wrong, there might as well be more documentation or more documents that has to come out involving her. I don't know. But I don't think that would get her so spooked that she had to run and disturb our day with that press conference speech, whatever it is it was. So my question is, why now? This is where, to me, it's a little off. What is happening now? Why now? And this is where she is reading the room wrong, because now she's having people look at her sideways. Now she's having people speculate. Oh, there's more coming out. Oh, this person is threatening her. This person is threatening her. This is happening. This is happening. And I don't think that's it. Melania don't give a rat's ass about who's threatening her, what documents are coming out. This lady is living on her own island in her head. She doesn't know. That's not it. And don't get me wrong, that's not me judging her. I'm living in my own island in my head also. I'm not judging her at all. What I think is happening is that the scales are finally falling off of her eyes. I think Auntie has had time to analyze, and especially in the midst of all that's happened. And what I think just broke the camel's back is adding that war to it. The day of reckoning is here. She's finally opened her eyes. Finally, that's what I think. She's finally seen her husband for who he is. And also, I think she's finally giving herself permission to be who she wants to be. Did you not catch it, guys? Did you miss it? Did you guys not notice how she slid in there with the book? This lady, Auntie Melania, I see you. This lady is slowly building her coffers. This lady is slowly building her coffers, so that way she don't have to ask Donald Trump for anything. When she leaves him, she divorces him, whatever, he'll still have to pay her because they've been together for so long. Right? He'll still have to alimony, spousal support, whatever that is. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Unless if there's a prenup. I don't know. Right? But she'll still get a little something from him, a little nest egg or something from him. But she's slowly building. And I'm not even saying maybe she started long and we just now, maybe we're just now catching it. This lady has been building her coffers, building her nest egg. Because if you missed when she slid in there about that book, so we could run and buy and purchase that book to help her. Come on, to help her build her nest egg. She didn't have to mention the book. To me, it was just so out of left field. It was not even appropriate for her to. But auntie, come now, hold on. Another piece of advice. If you're going to go all in. You already had the stage. After all, you had already come and disturb our day. We didn't call you. We didn't send for you. You had already come and in front of our TV. Start slapping us and reprimanding us, slapping us with threats of lawsuits and everything. You should have mentioned the documentary too. Send us and watch it. Because we didn't watch it. Guys, she already made millions on the documentary. But she knows what she's doing. Why now? Why the documentary now? Because she knows what she's doing. She's building her nest egg. Millions already in her pocket. And maybe that's why she didn't mention the documentary, because she's already paid for the documentary. So she doesn't need us. Whether we watch or not, she still gets paid. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm slow. So maybe that's why she didn't mention the documentary. But with the book, she wants us to go and buy. We have to buy for her to make the money. With the documentary, she's already paid. So whether we watch or don't watch, she still gets paid. Okay, auntie, all right, I see you. I'm sorry, my bad. I was just trying to help you. You know, when you have our attention, just sell everything you have to sell one go. So this is what it is. This is what I think it is. She's finally realized that time is ticking. Her husband is going to be out of the White House soon. Who knows? When he's out of the White House, people are going to come for him left, right, center, lawsuit here, lawsuit there. They're going to pull all of them into it. Wife, children, baby, grandchildren, everybody going to start paying. So she's trying to pull herself out. She's trying to forge a different path. And with her, she don't have to stay in America. That's the beauty of it. She can always go back to her country. Okay, Americans, she can always go back to her country where she came from and live a lavish lifestyle. So she's just analyzed everything. She's making her plans. She's setting her plans in motion. But she had now, at this time, she had to come to clear her name. So when she makes the move, there's nothing following her. And it's after the Pope denounced her husband and the war. 2 days after the Pope's message on the 7th of April, on the 9th of April, she came out with her speech. She came to the podium to clear her name. I'm out. And I don't care who I have to throw under the bus, I am out. Because why be so bold and challenge Congress? She went all in. She went there. I think when the Pope gave that message about the war and this senseless war, it touched something in her. And I don't think this lady is just there looking pretty. I think she advises her husband, but whether he takes the advice or not is up to him. As they say, you can bring the horse to the river, but you cannot force the horse to drink. The Pope was the breaking point for Auntie. Because I think she may be Catholic, or at least if she's not Catholic, she's deeply religious, but her husband is not. And guys, did you guys not notice when she was introduced to the Pope, how do they say it? The crowning of the Pope or the inauguration of the Pope, or however they say it? Let me know in the comment section. I don't know what they do to the Pope to officially sit him as Pope. When they had all the world leaders, you could see the pride in Melania. You could just see it. It was just exuding off of her. And you can see she was happy to be there. You could see she was proud to be there. You could see she was appreciative of being there. You could see she loved being there. You could see that she, was happy to meet the Pope. And I think that of all the things her husband has done, maybe she could have lived with it. Or maybe nothing just didn't really hit like that. This one hit different. So she's out at this point. That's what I think. She's out. And again, people may ask, why after everything that he's done, said, the way he's conducted himself, just the sheer magnitude of just, who he is, after all that, why now? But I think now because now she's ready. I think now because now she can't take no more. Or now she's seen a side of him that after all these years, she's never seen before. And if you're a woman listening to this, it doesn't have to take fireworks for you to decide to leave a man. In all the trials and tribulations and fireworks, we stay. We stay. And it's at the calmest moment that we decide to leave. So I say this, let's give Melania Trump some grace. Okay, so that's my take on the Melania Trump speech saga, her gliding onto the podium. For more scoop, more real life stories, please stay tuned. Go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.